we might be live.
We are live. Good morning, Joss.
Good morning, Lou, on this glorious day in Burton-upon-Trent. The sun is streaming through my window.
Yeah, the sun is our friend today, absolutely. And we're going to have a fantastic day because today we are celebrating 4 years of AP Connect. How are you feeling?
I am incredibly excited, a little bit nervous, because 4 years, it's huge. You know, that journey that we have been on as a community, as a project team, with advanced practitioners, with their managers, it's huge. And as I was doing my prep, the thing that really got me was we did 2 years and then the pandemic hit. And the last 2 years, we have been 100% online, apart from the North Star in February.
Oh, wow. And that was such a treat. 2 Wednesdays, myself and Bryony Croft, working with the North Stars, who are our most experienced APs, who are already taking AP Connect into their organizations in all sorts of different ways. And we spent the whole day in a thinking environment, planning the very different ways in which people are interpreting the program. And that's one of our learning points, isn't it? Because when we first thought about a Train the Trainers, we were thinking in terms of people carrying on the content that we had developed, and everybody has sort of started from that, but they've just absolutely made it their own. And that is exactly what we want.
100%. And I think that's really fitting because this 4th year, I'm just having a look at, because each year we have a strap line. Our first year was around evaluating, our second year was around extending and embedding, enhancing. Then pandemic hit, and then our year 3 and 4, and particularly year 4, it's always been about creating those conditions, supporting organizations, particularly in year 4, to create those conditions so APs can lead quality improvements. Yes. And in that 4th year, you know, we've always been thinking transition. You know, all projects come to an end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is really, particularly year 4 with Skylarks, and supporting them to build that skills palette, to really lead, design professional learning, open up those spaces. North Stars, this is sort of transition. This is handing over to the sector. And, you know, I'm just so proud, you know, what a place to be.
It's such an amazing place to be. Today, at the end of the day, we will hear our story told to us by Romani storyteller Richard O'Neill. And those of us who were at the conference last year will have heard Richard. And of course, you know, since joining us last year, he's taken a real interest in what we're doing. And I chatted with him yesterday and he was saying, you know what, this is the nomadic way. It's a real wisdom to know when to stop doing something, because actually it's time for others to take up that mantle and it's time for us to do something else. And he talked about, you know, he said, when you grow up in a caravan, it's always full. And if you want anything new, you have to get rid of something else. And that's a healthy thing. It's a really positive thing. You don't throw it away. Not in Romani culture. You pass it on. It becomes somebody else's legacy. And that's what we're doing today. And there will be a symbolic moment in the day. And I've sprayed my face so hard with makeup fixer because if I cry, I don't want to look like a panda.
That is absolutely. And, you know, Rebecca Solnut.
Yes.
Yeah. So you introduced me to her work in particular, and we draw upon the constellations metaphor and her thinking around constellations quite a bit in AP Connect. But one of the things she talks about is, you know, when something closes and something finishes, there is that opportunity for new.
Yes.
For different and for hope. Yeah?
Yes.
And it's a really hopeful space to be in, to be able to have the privilege to work with the community, being part of that AP community, and now to be in a position to transit over. Bene Brown, she talks about stewardship.
Yes.
Yeah? Stewards in terms of developing, supporting, scaffolding, and then handing over.
And that's been, I mean, that was a conversation we had a few weeks ago, wasn't it, Joss? Really recognizing ourselves as stewards of this community and all the other constellations and communities that are connected with it. What we've tried to do is take care of people, a practice of care as equals, not in any patronizing sense. We have appreciated, we have amplified, and we have helped create a practice architecture for those communities and constellations that remains, that is robust. It is a moment, and it's a critical moment, but there is momentum out there. And I think today is so important because we can pause knowing that and acknowledging it. And actually today is the transition point. In previous years, you know, sometimes we've known that we've got another year, sometimes we're not sure what the funding picture is. This year we know, and actually that's really healthy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And what's really interesting for me is we talk about the FE landscape, we talk about those external communities of practice, those constellations. I'm creating those conditions for advanced practice to lead quality improvements. And what's really interesting, just in this year, we're in March, we're 3 months into this year, and we've had Joyce Chen and we've had Naomi, not absolutely from Sandwell. Joyce is from Cambridge, and they've come together.
West Anglia. Joyce will be cross with me for that. No, she won't.
But what's amazing is, you know, they're coming together and they're doing it slowly. They're doing it deliberately. You know, meeting across that virtual space and launching the teacher, or relaunching the teacher education constellation. We've had advanced practitioners. I'm thinking Stacey Saltz. We've got an entire group of them from Oldham, Calderdale, University of Derby, Equal Sixth Form coming together. In fact, it's one of our workshops, launching vocational communities of practice, done intentionally, in virtual spaces, done with care, and learning from some of the stuff we've been up to, which is amazing.
Which is really amazing. So shout out to names there, part of that stewarding that vocational community of practice. Stacey, of course, we've got Eve Shepherd, we've got Sinead Blackledge, we've got Kate Hazelgrove, University of Derby, we've got Chris Wilde, we've got Catherine Beckley. I mean, that, you know, those are people who have, I don't know if they've even met physically, it doesn't matter. And people will see some of our workshops today, some are AP teams, some are sole traders, but APs running their own workshop. We've also got workshops which bring together, not in any formal constituted project sense, but pan-organizational energies, pan-organizational projects and communities, which is, you know, really amazing. And because we have seen ourselves, even though we didn't have the word for it until we read it in Brene, but because we've seen ourselves as stewarding and not owning, what has come out of all of that is anti-competitive practice. I think about, you know, even 5 years ago, when I first left Northern College and became a freelancer, people were still very much like this with the work that they were doing, and they might be prepared to share best practice, but then it was all the shiny bits, the cherries. You know, what we have here is a honest, anti-competitive, pro-social conversations.
Absolutely. And one of the things we put a spotlight this afternoon on the agenda, and you can see the agenda off the landing page, is we put an agenda on wicked problems. Yeah. Particularly the really honing into basic skills, maths, English, GCSE resits, challenging anyway, and then with the pandemic, emergency pivoting to online teaching, keeping resit learners engaged, motivated. Now, that was an entire challenge anyway, and then compounded again. And what we have is a real spotlight this afternoon on these AP communities who've come together to work interdependently in order to make progress with some of these huge, significant challenges, and really increasing that skills palette.
Absolutely. Increasing their own skills palette, and also enabling others. Now, how do I express this best? There's something about the joyful and affirmative way in which APs have worked throughout. You know, they've had a community to come back to say, oh God, that didn't work, or I thought that was going to be a great idea, it was blocked there, you know, to really sort of share frustrations or anxieties in a safe space, but they've gone out there joyfully. And what that has done, it has unlocked the confidence of their colleagues as well. Those very same, maths and English tutors, vocational tutors, managers, leaders, other colleagues to say, whoa, you know, I have got all of this amazing expertise to share. And the Skylarks program, the events and professional learning, I mean, that has connected with 2,000 practitioners this year. But it's also provided more honest spaces in professional learning in organizations, as well as the constellations for people to say, actually, I'm not super confident around that. You're asking me to do this, but you know, I've got a lot of fear around it. I've got a lot of anxiety around it. And it has been a real movement of radical candor, being able to say, you know, I need some help with this and not be shot down in flames.
And this points very much to the co-evaluation research around how values become really important. Because if we're operating in an environment where trust is supported, enacted at all levels, then actually it's much easier for me to have that dialogue, have that conversation, and feel supported. Skylarks in particular this year, one of the new kids on the block for year 4. It's on the landing page, we've got some exhibits, AP Connect exhibits, which we've curated for you. You'll have an opportunity to browse those this afternoon. But the Skylarks one, for anybody who's really interested in what we're articulating as a shift from sort of expert-led CPD, which has its place, to professional learning, which the key characteristics are peer-led, peer-supported, peer-designed. What's really interesting for me on the Skylarks exhibit is how that is coming through so strongly, this shift in CPD, this shift in professional learning across an organization, opening up those spaces.
Absolutely. And that takes potential. You know, that takes skills around influence, around confidence, around community building. It's just a totally different view. And it's a totally different way of doing things. And the reach is immense. Joss, I really wanted to do a call out to some people during the broadcast. I'm watching the register and seeing people joining us. And we've been chatting away so beautifully that I've managed to wait till I've got like 70 odd names on a list.
Oh, wow.
Just going to read through them, and these are people coming in early, registering, having a look at the landing page. So please do that. I'm going to read some names out. And then, Josh, do you want to say a bit about what's on the landing page? Yeah. Because it is not just for today, it's forever. But let's just read through this list. Good morning to Isla. Good morning to Zara. I can see Katina's in there from the Women's Leadership Network. Hello to Sam, to Helen, FE Reading Group, and so much more besides. Mark Fountain, Mark Piachelski, hope I've got that right. We've got Claire Coleman in here. Esther, I can see Jackie Rossa. Magella, it's been amazing to reconnect with Magella in this 4th year. And Alison Loughlin, one of our absolute stalwarts. Alison's she's part of the family. Well, we're all part of the family, but Alison has been with us from the start. I can see Shivani in there, fantastic. And Michelle, I think Michelle's been with us from the start as well. Esther, Vicky are our dear friends and what shall we say, co-light maker, Colin Forrest, and you'll be hearing from Colin later today. Judith's there, Joyce is there. I hope I didn't shock you too much, Joyce, when, you know, I popped up out of the bath in my towel this morning. I made her laugh anyway. We have got Helen Brennan there. Helen's doing a fabulous workshop. Moz Baker, we've got Andrea from Kirklees, she and Catherine Pogson are doing a workshop. CBeebies in the title, which is intriguing, but their work is so multi-layered because they've been involved in every strand of AP Connect. So get yourselves along to that workshop. Who else have we got? We have got Melissa, Haley, Patricia. Hello, good morning to you all. We have got people are coming in all the time, so it's jumping about in front of my eyes. Sarah Heaton, we've got Stacey in there. Who else? We've got Sarah Cattell, Toby, Doncaster. Brilliant to see you, Toby. Vicky, oh, how lovely. Cherry Edwards, oh, I love that name, Cherry. Cherry, welcome. And Marie there as well. Angie Sims. Naomi's here. We were just name checking Mary. Audrey Fairgrieve, a name from the past. Audrey was with us for the first 2 years. We've got Jilly Waterhouse. Jilly is doing a workshop as well today that just looks I'm so gutted to be missing the workshops because I'm in one. Have a look at Gilly's workshop. It looks incredible. Vicky Baker, Nicole Chamberlain. We've got Matt O'Leary, who with Joanne Miles has offered amazing expert-led CPD. As you say, Joss, we need it. We need it in the right moment, and we need it to be the right thing. We just don't need as much of it as we think we do. We have got Mafa in there again, been working with Mafa on this project for years. It's lovely to see you, Fatima. We have got, who did I see there? I saw Chris Wild, Vocational Communities of Practice, Tracy Lee, another of our co-light makers, Leslie Kelly. We've got Laura Scott, how wonderful. Caroline Ryder, oh, great to see you, Caroline. Sandra Smith, oh, brilliant. So glad you're here. Elizabeth Draper. We've got Bobby, we've got Susan, Pam, Dale, Mel, Heaton, Joanne's here, Jenny Drain, Laura Clark, Samantha Beattie, Helen Osborne, wonderful. Good morning to Jane, to Sarah Matthews, to Sinead, to Vicky, Helen Clarkson. We had during year one, I spent a lot of time with Helen and Lucy out in East Riding and City of York as part of the mentoring we did together. Kate Hazelgrove, Heather Booth Martin, Peter Venables, Nicola, Laura, Heidi. Oh, lovely to see you all. Karen Gowlett, Skylark, down there on the Essex coast. We've got Matt Pearson from Chesney, Adele, Oksana. How lovely to see you, Oksana. Joe Fletcher Saxon, a great comrade of ours. Bernadette Pierce, Bridget, Marcida, Mars. You will see a video from Mars during the conference. Dorothy Braidwood, one of the co-evaluators, Chloe Hines. And I know there's 88 people in there now, and I could just keep going forever. I'm going to hand over to you, Joss. You've got 3 minutes to talk through the landing page.
Thank you, Lou. Fantastic call out there. Landing page. So you've all located the landing page. We have got a welcome video from Lou, and we've also got a welcome video for Catherine Manning, Education and Training Foundation, who've commissioned the AP Connect programme. Catherine sends her apologies. She couldn't make it today, but do have a listen of the video. Ah, fantastic. 55 people have engage in the How Are You opening Mentimeter, which is amazing. Range of emotions, but I can tell one thing, it's sunny out there. That's fantastic. And lots and lots of excitement. Fantastic. We have a whole load of stuff on this landing page, so do take a look. Story of Advanced Practice. We're going to be sharing some of these new insights. They're deliberately yellow, pan-organizational. Big theme coming throughout today. Agenda, section 3. This is the key bit in terms of helping you to navigate in and out of today. All of your Zoom links for the various workshops, the main page, the main room is here. Yeah, bookmark that, keep coming back to that, and you can navigate and you can see where the breaks and lunches, etc. are. The section 4 AP Connect exhibition will come back to that. But actually, before I do, please do make sure you book yourself onto one of the 6 workshops. You'll find the booking links in section 3 of that agenda. They are filling up fast. So if you find it's full already, hop over to another workshop. We are recording, yeah, so you will not miss out. I've got 2 minutes, Lou. AP Connect exhibition, we'll come back to that. Beautifully curated by the team, and we hope you see your work reflected in this. Number 5, resources and research. We're not really going to delve into this on the day, but there are some fantastic curated pieces there. They are chronological, starting on the bottom right with the AP toolkit and sort of weaving our way up, and we end with Joyce's intersectionality Padlet, inspired by the North Star professional development. Do take a look at that. It is amazing. Yeah. Matrix of Constellations Padlet, and we will be popping post-conference material. We are going to be asking you to engage in questions throughout the day. We're going to be doing some crowdsourcing for various stakeholders as well. And again, we'll be popping all of those over here. That's our landing page.
That's our landing page, and it is magnificent. I just want to, as we close this broadcast, so we can just grab a cup of tea and get ready for our start at 10 o'clock. Stay awkward, brave and kind, as Brene Brown exhorts us to do. And leave your role, rank and ego at the door. Come in with those beautiful open minds and just soak it all up. We haven't featured him a lot in the program, but the bowerbird is everywhere. He is that glorious bluebird who hops around picking up the blue shiny things. You have created everything that we're going to show you today. It is yours. APs, everybody, have a brilliant, brilliant day. And we will see you on Zoom at 10. See you there, Joss.